that. We already have learned how to create a Linux machine. Let's quickly repeat that. We learned how to create a Linux machine. We understood the importance of PuTTY and PuTTY-Gen. So we'll be again showing that, and I'll also connect to that Linux machine. And this is pending. Creating a web server. This is pending. What is a web server? Creating a web server, installing web package, understanding the importance of security group. This is all pending. So let's move on and understand today's session. This is very, very important. Understanding web server is very, very important. It's a key for the next session. So let's move on. Let's create a Linux machine. You can do that in no time. Let's log into right up.
Therapie soumis comme ça.
Services EC2 instances. Okay, these are the terminate instances. Don't worry about this. Ignore these two instances. Let's go ahead and create a new instance. Let us go ahead and create a new instance. We have successfully created Windows machine. Yesterday we have successfully created Linux machine. We had some issues in connecting to the Linux machine. Not a problem. Let's proceed. Launch instances. Creating instances is a 7-step process. You already know that. I'm going ahead with Amazon Linux. Obviously, the only instance of type which is available for free tier is T2 Micro. So we go with T2 Micro. Number of instances, I want only one instance. That's fine. This instance comes with 8 GB of storage. Okay. So this is the AWS cloud. We are creating a Linux machine. This Linux machine, what is the hardware configuration? What is the hardware configuration of this Linux machine? 1 GB RAM, because T2 Micro. 1 GB RAM, you are right, 1 CPU, and how much hard disk? Hard disk is all about storage. It is coming with 8 GB of hard disk. Perfect. We know this. So this is the hardware configuration of the Linux machine. Okay. And when you want to connect to this Linux machine, very important. This is my personal laptop. When you want to connect to Linux machine, what port needs to be open? You need to open what? You need to open the port. You know that. What port needs to be open? Yes, you are right. SSH port needs to be open. So I'm going a little fast because all this we already have discussed in the last session. So I am opening SSH port. In fact, you don't need to open. It automatically is very intelligent. It will ask you to open the SSH. It automatically guide you to open the SSH port. Next step is tags. You don't need to worry about the tags. Security group. Security group is all about dealing with ports. Security group is all about dealing with ports. Very good. I want to provide a name to the security group. This is important. Please focus here. Last session, we have never given a name to the security group. This is the first time I'm providing a name to the security group. Let's name the security group. Any name. Let's name it as. Let's give it today's one. 21. This is the name of the security group. Fine. And what port it is open? I'm not opening the port. It automatically it's opening SSH port. That's fine. Review and launch. Click on launch. It will ask you to create a new key pair. Key pair name can be anything. For example, I'm writing it as my name Sunil with today's date 21. And what is the file extension of key pair? What is the file extension of key pair? I hope you're very clear. The file extension of key pair is .pem. Download the key pair. I want to download in my desktop Sunil folder. This is the key pair. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension .pem. You know that. launch. View instances. This is the Linux mission. Mission name can be anything. We have successfully created Linux mission with 1 GB RAM, 1 CPU, 8 GB of storage in the AWS data center in Mumbai region. Clear? Let's wait for 1 minute. You can see the machine is in running state. Next point. How to connect to the Linux machine? To connect to the Linux machine, we need a terminal called PuTTY. We need a terminal called PuTTY. Okay. So in the last session, I already have downloaded PuTTY. I have shown you. I'm not repeating it again. PuTTY is the terminal which is used for connecting to the Linux machine. Okay. So PuTTY is a terminal. I'm very clear. PuTTY is a terminal which is used to connect to Linux machine. PuTTY needs what file? PuTTY, very important. You have to revise, not just attending the sessions to get the best of the training. To get the best of the training, you have to revise. Be perfect in whatever we are learning day to day, and you should learn more than what I say. You should explore more. Okay. So PuTTY needs what file? PuTTY needs PPK file. What does PPK stands for? PPK stands for PuTTY private key. PuTTY private key. PuTTY needs PPK file. But what AWS is giving? What AWS has given? AWS has given PEM file. AWS has given file with extension .pem. So what you need to do? You need to convert the PEM file to PPK file. You have to have PPK file to connect. Without PPK file, you cannot connect using PuTTY. PuTTY needs PPK file, but AWS is not providing PPK file. AWS is providing PEM file. So what you have to do? You need to convert. Going little fast, we need to convert the PEM file to PPK file. For that conversion, we need a tool called as PuTTYGen. We already have downloaded PuTTYGen in my personal laptop. I'm not doing it again. I'm opening the PuTTYGen. So what I'll do, I'll upload the PEM file and download and generate the PPK file and I'll download it. Pretty simple. Load. What you need to do, you need to load the PEM file. Where is PEM file? In my desktop Sunil folder. Go to all files option. What's the file name? Sunil21, right? This is the PEM file. Upload it successfully. Next, what you need to do, you need to download, save private key. PPK stands for PuTTY private key. Save private key. Just click on yes. Mention the private key name. It can be any name. So I'm writing it as Sunil21, but I hope you know. It should not. Please make a small change. It should not be PEM. It should be. Done. Now you can see I have successfully converted. Where is this? In my desktop Sunil folder, I have successfully converted PEM file to PPK file. You can see here, successfully converted PEM file to PPK file. PPK file is required. So PuTTYGen is used for conversion. Look at the name of the tool, PuTTYGen. It generates what it generates, PPK file. I already have generated PPK file. Once the generation is done, now I can connect using the terminal called as PuTTY. Now I use the terminal now I can connect to the Linux machine which I just created using the terminal called as PuTTY. Fine. What are the details required to connect? What are the credentials which are required to connect to that particular Linux? Which credentials are nothing but details. What details are required to connect to the Linux machine? If you want to connect to Linux machine, select the machine, click on connect, go to SSH client, username @DNS name. This is what required. I'm copying it, clearly showing it in the node file. In the PuTTY, this is the username. This is the default username. Okay, we don't need to create it. This is the default username @ the DNS name. This is automatically generated. You can pick up from here. You don't need to pick up the complete SSH command, not required. Just pick up the username @ DNS name. Pick up this particular part. I already factored this. You need to provide, and then you should also mention PuTTY needs what file? PuTTY needs what file? PPK file. You should mention where exactly the PPK file available. Using the PPK file, using this particular username @ DNS name, your PuTTY will connect to that Linux machine which we have successfully created just now. Let's do that. Open the terminal PuTTY. Host name should be should be the host name. And you need to mention where exactly the PPK file is available under SSH. Under authentication, mention the private key. Where is the private key in my desktop Sunil folder? I think this is the name sunil21.ppk file. Just click on open. Are you sure you want to connect? Yes, I have successfully connected. Yesterday there was giving an error because my office network settings are stopping me to connect to the remote instances. Now I'm using a different network. So yesterday we have not done any error. I have successfully connected to the Linux machine. Let's increase the font size for better visibility.
And when we left, and then you can stay there. We can check you from the camera how you work.
Let's increase
sit in the other chair. See the other chair.
Yes, I have successfully connected to the Linux machine. You may have a question, Sunil, what is the proof? What is the proof that you are successfully connected to Linux machine? When you successfully connect to the Linux machine, you will get the IP address 172.31.5.205. This is the IP address. You can verify it. 172.31.5.25. This is the Linux machine which you have created, right? Select this Linux machine. 172.31.5.205. Are you getting the same number? That's a proof that you're connected to the Linux machine. We have created Linux machine, step 1. Step 2, we have converted the PEM file to PPK file, that is step 2. And we also have successfully connected, we have learned how to connect to this from any laptop. From my personal laptop, you have learned how to connect Linux machine successfully. Clear about this? This is what we have learned in last session. Let's move on. What is a web server? What is a web server? Let's try to do first point. Do not worry about the technical jargons, especially for non-technical people. I make the concept simple. Okay. Now, look at this. Where is today's notes? Okay. So we have learned how to create Linux machine. How can we connect Linux machine? Let's come to this concept of web server. Look at the theory. A web server is a program. Friends, web server is a program which uses HTTP protocol, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP, to serve the files from web pages to users in response to the request. Examples of web servers are Apache HTTP server, IIS, Microsoft IIS Internet Information Server. Nginx is an example of web server. HTTPD by Apache is also an example of web server. These are all examples of web server. Let's make the concept of web server very simple. Look at this. Let's make the concept of web server simple. Okay. Now, friends, try to understand. Let's try to understand the concept of web server. Simple. From my laptop, if I open ICICIbank.com, okay? From my laptop, if I open ICICIbank.com, from my Google Chrome browser, especially non-technical people, they can also easily understand. From my browser, let's say I want to use internet banking. So we all have internet banking, right? So I open ICICIbank.com. What do I get? What do I get? I get a web page. Look at this. In response to my request, I'm getting a web page. Agree? What is this? This is a web page. Okay. So let's understand what's happening here. Let's understand what's happening here. From my laptop, I'm opening ICICIbank.com, right? In my browser. So when I press enter, I'm getting a web page. From where I'm getting a web page? So somewhere is my web page is saved in my laptop? No, it's not saved in my laptop. So what? From where? So I'm getting a page from the server. This server is called as web server. So when from the browser, if I access ICICIbank.com, the request will go to the ICICI Bank server, And in response, I get the web page. As I'm getting the web pages, it is called web server. As I'm getting the web page, what I'm getting in response to the response, this is what this is a web page. So as I'm getting web pages, that's why it's called the web server. Web server is simple. From my laptop, if I open icsabank.com, you get the web page. So from where we are getting the web page? From the web server. So web server is something like a computer, which is running 24/7, because 24/7 every customer should be able to access the page. Not only from me, you may be in US, you may be in Hyderabad, you may be in US. Look at this. You may be from Hyderabad, you may be in US, you may be any location. So if you also open icsabank.com, friends, if you open icsabank.com, you get the same page. Agree or not? That means the request will go to same server. So as I'm getting web pages, it's called a web server. What is web server? Web server is nothing but collection of pages, boss. Login page, contact page, contact us page, services page. So that's nothing but a web server. Actually, I hope you have seen my email address is logiclabstech.com. So our institute, logiclabs.com. This is our institute site. That's not much proper. So what I'm getting in response? What I'm getting? So I'm opening ICICI Bank logiclabstech.com. What I'm getting a web page. I have hired a website designer to have this web page. I'm getting a page. Not only me, anybody in the world. If you access logiclabs.com, logiclabstech.com, you get the web page. So what is web server? Web server is nothing but web pages. You may have some web pages. You may have 5 web pages like login.html, contactus.html, register.html. So maybe have a number of pages according to the request, according to the event you have done. When you click on this, you get the corresponding website. So web server is nothing but a collection of web pages. Web server is collection of web pages. I hope very clear in explain the concept of web server. I hope I'm very clear explain the concept of web server. Now I want to convert this Linux machine which we just now created. I want to convert this Linux machine which I just now created as a web server. So this is an empty Linux. This is just an operating system, right? How do you want to use this operating system? If you install web package, it becomes a web server. If you install Oracle in this Linux machine, it becomes a database server. If you install Tomcat, it becomes Tomcat server. If you install WebLogic, it becomes WebLogic server. Are you understanding? It's up to you. How do you want to use this Linux machine? As of now, this is empty, simple Linux. Plain Linux machine. That's it. How do you want to use this? I want to use this Linux machine as a web server. So install web package. So if you install, like I've shown you in this list of all the web servers. So if you install IIS, it becomes a web server. If you install these are all examples of web server. I want to install HTTPD. I want to install, friends, in this Linux machine, HTTPD. I want to install this HTTPD. When I install HTTPD, this Linux machine is called as a web server. What is HTTPD? HTTPD is an example of web server. Okay, so let's learn how can we install HTTPD. Step 1, how can we install HTTPD, and let's experience how to create a web server. Installing HTTPD is very simple. Look at the commands. So now which web server I'm installing? HTTPD. There are a lot of web servers available. You can also install Nginx. So I'm going with this example of HTTPD. HTTPD stands for daemon, is a program that runs as a web server. Don't worry about the background, foreground. It's a program that runs as a web server. What the web server responsibility? It should take the request. Agree? The web server will wait for the incoming request. Let's say from you or me, access the web server using the domain name icsabank.com. In response to the request, it will serve hypertext and multimedia documents over HTTP. That's it. So web server is nothing but a program which is running on the Linux machine. It will wait for the request. If anybody requests a particular web page, it will use the web page. That's it, as simple as that. So let's make this web server. If you want to make this as a web server, you need to install HTTPD. Sir, how to install HTTPD? Let's move ahead. It's very simple. Let's install HTTPD in this Linux machine. We need to install web package, web package is nothing but this HTTPD, then it is called as web server. Package is nothing but a software. Okay? Yes. How to install HTTPD in Linux machine? When you install HTTPD, it becomes web server. Fine. Okay, you may have questions. Sunil, okay, it's clear now. Web server. When you install HTTPD, that Linux machine is called as web server. Fine. How to install it? How to install HTTPD in Linux? Okay. Let's learn something new here. If I want to install any software in my personal laptop, if I want to install some software in my personal laptop, let's say I want to install Notepad++. Is one software, right? Or I want to install Skype, I want to install WhatsApp web, I want to install Acrobat Reader. In case if it is on, if you want to install some softwares in your personal laptop, what you'll do, you open Google, search for that particular software, you can download. That's how you will download that software. It could be exe file, whatever it is. You run the exe file. That's how it will be installed in the laptop. That's in Windows environment. But how to install HTTPD in Linux? This is a software. Okay, you need to download that particular software. Install that software from yum repository. Linux community is maintaining a repository. The name of the repository is yum repository. What do you mean repository? Repository is a very big warehouse. It's a collection of thousands of softwares. So Linux community is maintaining one repository. Repository is not a collection of softwares. The name of the repository is yum repository. Any software you want to install, if you want to install Tomcat, okay, if you want to install Nginx, if you want to install Apache server, if you want to install IIS, whatever you want to install, you need to install it from the yum repository. Linux community is maintaining the yum repository. Visualize repository is nothing but a warehouse, which is collection of thousands of softwares. The term package in Linux is refers to software. I want to install HTTPD software. I can also say I want to install HTTPD package. Package refers to software in Linux. When I say I'm installing package, and you need to understand that we are installing some software. The term package refers to software in Linux. So I want to install HTTPD package. From where I should install that package? From the yum repository. Yum repository is having thousands of packages. Let's understand more about yum repository. Yum repository is warehouse of Linux softwares. Sometimes the software which you want to install is not available in Linux by default. We created Linux. This HTTPD is not available by default. So you need to install it. So in such situations, we use repositories. From that particular repository, we'll install the package. Okay. Yum syntax is yum install package name. Package name is nothing but the software. Package is nothing but software. So that's how you need to install it. So let's learn how can I install it. Look at the commands to install the HTTPD software. First, sudo su. Su is a Linux command. Stands for switch user, which will switch to root user. Can you see the response? Now you are in hash prompt. Hash prompt refers to root user. First, you need to switch to root user. Root user is a high-level user where you can install. You don't find any issues in installing. So click first switch to root user. Next, whenever you install some software, from where we should install the software? From where we should install the software? We should install the software from yum repository. Whenever you want to install the software, it's a good practice to first update the repository. You want the latest version of the software, right? So first update the repository. First the repository should be updated. The repository name is what? Yum update -y. This will update the yum repository. First update the yum repository. Repository got updated. Next, yum install HTTP-y is nothing but yes. Are you sure you want to install? You need type yes. So y stands for yes. This is the command. Yum install the software name. What is the software name? HTTPD. So when you run this, what will happen? When you run this, what will happen? HTTPD software will be installed. That's it. It's installed. Is it difficult? The moment it is installed, it becomes a web server. Now your Linux machine is a web server. Now, if anybody sends a request to the web server, we should get one web page, right? You should get one web page. So minimum there should be one web page. Minimum there should be one HTML page. Minimum one page should be there, right? Otherwise, what page you will get it? So you need to create minimum one page. So let's create minimum one page just to experience it. Where you should create the page, you should create the page in this particular location under where, under www, under HTML directory. Go to that particular directory. CD stands for change directory. You cannot create anywhere you want. You need to go to that particular HTML folder. In this particular HTML folder, right now the folder is empty. LS stands for list of all the files. There are no files. No, you need to create minimum one file, one page to practice, to experience the concept of web server. So let's create what page? Index.html page. Generally the first page in the website is called as index.html page. So I'm creating index.html page. What content I'm writing? I'm writing it as my Google. Any content you can place it. Any content you want, you can place it. So this is the content. Echo is nothing but print statement. I'm redirecting to index.html. When you run this, what happens? When you run this, what happens? The file gets created. What file gets created? Index.html. If you want, confirm it. Can you see the index.html is created? In this HTML page, what content you will have? My Google. Some content, some text, some word is there. Well, this is my Google. That's the content we have it in the index.html. This is a sample page just for experience purpose. Next. So what I have done? I have installed the HTTPD software and then I have created one page called as index.html page, and you need to start the service. Just installation is not sufficient. You need to start the service. Service HTTP start is a command which helps you to start the web package. Not just installation, you need to start the web package. Now the web package has been started. The software is started running. Check config HTTPD on is the configuration settings. When you run this command, what will happen? It will start the HTTPD service automatically whenever you restart the machine. Whenever I restart this Linux machine, I want that HTTPD software to run automatically. This command will help you to run that HTTPD software automatically whenever you restart the machine. So that configuration check, I am doing it. Done. I have installed HTTPD, a web package. That's why it's called as a web server. And I also have created one page. What's that page I have created? What's that page I have created? Index.html page I have created. As simple as that. Now our Linux machine is called as a web server because you have installed web package. I repeat again, be very clear. It's up to you, up to the business requirements. When you install Oracle, that becomes an Oracle database server. If you install a SQL server or MySQL, it becomes database server. If you install web HTTPD, it becomes a web server. It's up to the requirement. How do you want to use this Linux machine? So I have created Linux machine and I want to experience the web server. Now, where is this web server located? Where is this web server located? In Mumbai. And where is my location? I'm from Hyderabad. Now, how can I send a request to my web server? How can I send a request? This EC2 machine is having an IP address, right? So take the web server IP address. This is a web server. Take the IP address. This is the IP address, right? So just copy the IP address. Every machine can be connected using IP address. Copy and just press enter. The request will go to this particular IP address. IP address is nothing but this particular machine. And the already web server is successfully running. In response, we should get one page. What page you will get it? Friends, are you understanding? When I'm accessing this particular IP address, the web server will take the request. In response, we should get the web page. What page we should get it? Index.html page we already have created. That you should get it in response. Let's experience it. Are you getting the response? Are you getting the response? You are not getting the response. Still processing. You are not getting the response. What could be the reason? Let's try to understand. Let's try to understand. You are not getting the. It should not take this much time. You are not getting the response. Let's wait. Let's try to understand what exactly the problem is, friends. Please try to understand what exactly the problem is. From your Google Chrome, that is from your browser, or your browser could be Chrome or Mozilla or whatever it is, Internet Explorer or whatever it is, you are sending a request. Browser communicates using HTTP port. Browser will communicate using what port? HTTP port. Which port you have opened? SSH port. Browser does not use SSH port. You should open one more port. What port you need to open? Friends, browser communicates using what port? Browser always communicates using HTTP port. Did you open HTTP port in the web server? No, you have not done that. That's the reason it is not accepting the request. Port is nothing but point of communication. Port is not open. You have opened what port? SSH port. This putty uses SSH port for communication. Generally, terminals like putty uses SSH port. Browser does not use SSH port. You need to open the right port. For web communication, you need to open HTTP port. So how to open HTTP port? How to open HTTP port, my dear friends? That's the concept of security group. Dealing with ports happens using security group. Do you remember when you're creating a Linux machine, we have provided a name to the security group. We have provided a name. That's the reason I have clearly written a note here. We have provided a name to the security group. What is the name of the security group? SG21. As you have provided a name to the security group, refer to that particular security group. In this EC2 dashboard, scroll down. Can you see we have an option called security groups? Friends, are you understanding? We already have created. Go to security groups. What is the name of the security group? What is the name of the security group? SG21. Can you see here SG20? This is the security group. Click on the security group. This is the security group name SG21. What port is open? SSH port is open. You should also open second port. One more port you need to open. What port you need to open? HTTP port you need to open. So edit rules, add rule. What port I am opening? HTTP port. Anywhere. What do you mean anywhere? Anybody in the world can connect to this particular Linux machine using the HTTP protocol. Save rules. Save rules. That is the important. When you name the security group, when you provide a good name, unique name to a security group, you can refer to that particular security group, open the ports, close the ports, add the ports, remove the ports, you can play around. That is possible using the concept of security group. That's the importance of security group. I hope you have understood the importance of security group. Now in this particular security group, I have opened the second port that is HTTP port. Now take the public IP. Friends, take the public IP and then send the request to that particular Linux machine which is somewhere in Mumbai. Look at the response. Are you getting the web page? My Google, are you getting the web page? This is web server. It could be as beautiful as ICICIbank.com or as simple as my Google, but the concept is web server. A web server is nothing but a machine which is running 24/7, which will take the request. In response, you get the web page.
I don't either.
You may be anybody in the world. So I'm providing this IP address. Friends, I'm providing the IP address in the chat box from your laptop. Pick up the IP address from the chat box.
Jesus.
You can also see the IP address in the screen. I have provided the IP address in the chat box from your personal laptop. You may be anybody in the world. Go to your Google Chrome and then submit your browser, submit that particular IP address. Are you getting the responses like me? My Google.
She's at home.
Yes or no, please respond in the chat box. Super. What's there in it? Simple.
So you green up
like
every
how
day.
anybody in the world can access ICICIbank.com, anybody in the world can access my Google page.
Jesus,
Don't worry about the technical
every
jargons.
day.
Let's make the concept simplified.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you very much.
On va les voir son d'artisan, mon frère.
Talk to website designer, create a very good, beautiful HTML page, upload, create that HTML, send that HTML page in the Linux machine, you get the beautiful page. That's it. Thank you very much. I hope you're happy with this example. Let's move on. That's the concept of web server. Okay, let's stop the chat
Yeah.
so that we can focus more.
C'est bien.
No, look at the theory. Oh, look at the theory.
Ah,
A
ouais.
web server is nothing but a small program which is running in the background as a web server 24/7. These machines will run 24/7. We are stopping it because we have some limitation in the free tier account. We are stopping it, but in the projects, the machines will not be stopped 24/7.
Quand
It
tu
will
mets
running.
ça en standby, on sait
So always
jamais.
the web server is always running. Always it takes the request and sends you the response to web pages. What's there in it? That becomes a web server. Okay. Now let's go back. What's there? You know what is web server. You know how to install web server. You know the importance of security group. Security group all is dealing with ports. Security group is all about dealing with ports. Okay, perfect. Yesterday this is what I want to discuss, but because of my office network settings, it has stopped my connection. So I hope it is very clear. I hope you are enjoying the training. So you also know what is YUM repository. Repository is nothing but a warehouse of software Linux. Softwares, whatever you want to install, you need to install it from the repository. You also know about the YUM repository. Okay? Okay. Okay. I want to create one more machine. Even the same, like I already have created Linux machine. I want to create one more Linux machine. And I want to make that machine as a web server. I want to install the same software. Like how I install software HTTPD, I want to install the same software but in a different manner. This is a small change. I want to create one more machine. And I want to install same web server,
Okay.
HTTPD, but I want to do it in a different way. Let's try to understand the concept of bootstrap scripts.
Come on, sleeping.
What is bootstrap scripts? Before discussing theory about proofs of stake, let's try to understand the bootstrap scripts. Let's go ahead and create a new machine. Let's create a new machine. Launch instances. Okay, before going on, let's have a quick discussion.
Yes.
How are you, Keshava Senapati?
Hello, sir.
How are
Good,
you,
sir.
Keshava? Thank you
Good,
very
sir.
much. Thank you very much. Your question, please.
Sir, we want document, sir. Document.
Okay. Okay, we'll share it to you. Okay. Documents and
Thank you, sir.
recordings for that you need to make is nominal payment. Today I'll send you the payment link in the WhatsApp group so you can proceed with the payment and get the recordings and
Sir,
documents.
sir, I have another question, sir.
Yes, Keshava.
Sir, we download temp file now, sir.
You have downloaded PEM file, you're right.
Directly we went to the keepers and download PPK file now, sir.
We have not downloaded, we have generated PPK file.
Sir, in keepers we can also download a PPK file now.
Where you have downloaded?
Keepers, sir.
Where?
Instances. Go to the keepers, sir. Keepers. Service. Go to the services, sir.
1 minute. We have an option of keypairs here. Wait. Where is this keypairs? Yes, here you have keypairs.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Created one keeper, sir.
Yeah, these are all the keypairs which I have downloaded.
Yes, sir. But
Tell me.
we imported now, sir, from PEM file to PPK file.
And that will not be visible here. AWS provides the PEM files that will be available here. PPK files will not be available here. We have generated PPK file. Okay,
Sir.
in our personal laptop.
Sir, once created one another keeper, sir, please.
Okay, tell me what do you want. Any
Sir,
question?
directly we can create a PPK file now, sir.
Yeah, you can create it. That's okay. Any questions in this example?
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay. Good evening, Syed. I can see your hand raised, Syed M. Good evening. If you're not having any questions, please drop your hand. Syed, I can see your hand raised. Yeah, sorry. Please unmute again.
Yes, thanks.
Hi, sir.
Thankful.
Hi, Syed.
I have a question.
Yes.
Like, if we create an instance in Mumbai, is it possible, like, tomorrow can I move it to some other region?
Yes, you can do that. I'll show you soon. Right now, by default, we are working in Mumbai region. So make sure you also work in. We can also work in other region. That's not a problem. But we'll see how can we move our missions from one region to other region. So yeah, we'll be discussing in the sessions. Okay. Thank you. Good evening, Pramod Reddy.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Fine, sir. Great.
Amazing.
Sir, I'm great, sir. Sir,
May I know your
Il a
work
révélé son
experience?
sir, I'm a student, sir.
Okay.
C'est bien, il va pas
I'm
bien
studying
révéler son
BTech third
frère.
year, CMR College.
How do you know about this training?
My sir told about this.
Okay. Okay. others are all, anybody from the same college joining? Pramod?
I don't know, sir.
Mhm.
Some members are joined. Sir, I have a question about AWS only generate PEM file, right, sir?
AWS will generate PEM file.
So we have to convert into PPK file, right, sir?
Yes.
It does not provide PPK file, right, sir?
As of now, we need to convert the PEM file to PPK file.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, this one more question, sir. Sir, this will cover syllabus up to only
Associate
architect
level.
Okay,
AWS Certified Solutions Architect, associate level syllabus.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, Shende.
Very fine, sir.
How are you, Trucha?
Very fine, sir. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you. Your question, please.
So actually, when my friend was trying to launch the instance for Linux machine, he used the Git bash, which was quite easier than the Putty.
I'll also show you Git bash also. As of now, I'm using Putty. That's okay. You should be doing anything. That's not. Terminal can be Putty or Git bash. Does not make any difference. Okay. In fact, Git bash is more difficult. Git bash is more easy. Anyways, we'll see it soon. Any more questions? Clear about whatever we are learning?
Yes, sir. Very clear.
Thank you. Last question before moving on. Sandeep Chinnaparaj.
Hi, good evening,
Good
Sunil.
evening, Sandeep. Yeah.
I'm actually from a service management background. I have about 14 years of experience. But right now, how good it is to, or if I have to.
From the service management, if you want to shift to the IT infrastructure management, okay? Okay. So if you want to change your role with respect to infrastructure management and helping your clients to manage their servers, then this is the right startup course, Sandeep, for you. Okay. Great. Along with that, I also want to recommend you to learn DevOps because your experience is from the operations side. Am I right, Sandeep?
Yes.
So, in combination of AWS, if you acquire the skills of DevOps, it will be very good profile, which helps you to change internally, or you can also change to other company also. So I recommend you to learn DevOps course also along with the AWS, which you are doing now.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Questions, Sandeep?
No, that's it.
I know you are from which city?
Hyderabad. I'm from Hyderabad.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Yeah, thank you.
Isha Bhatt. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sunil. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thank you.
So actually, Sunil, I have a couple of questions. Firstly, in the very first session where we were
C'est pour quelle, c'est quelle maison?
we were going for the AWS account creation. Just a small query. The geographical location, I hope there is no restriction as to what kind of location we are selecting while creating.
Ok, je vais finir. C'est
When you're
comme ça que
creating
les
an
recorder.
AWS
Hein.
account, when you're
Yeah.
creating an AWS account, you'll be providing mobile number, right?
Ariette, taking my
Yeah.
phone. You should.
If you select the location as US, you need to provide US mobile number. If you select India location, you need to select the India mobile number.
So that is where the relation comes about
Yes,
the
exactly.
geographical.
Let's say if you provide US region and provide India mobile
Ça,
number,
c'est
that
au
gives
fond.
the issue.
C'est le
So
dernier
it
là.
might throw an error or will restrict us to use the data center if the numbers
Oh.
are not matching to the
It will give you an error.
C'est même un garage. Hein.
The other concern was that I was having some internet connection. Can you tell me again how we found the IP address of our HTTP web server for my
Okay.
Google?
La maison, ça
see
m'a
the screen
beaucoup
now,
touché
right?
au départ quand j'ai vu ça.
This is the machine which you have created.
La
Am I
maison,
right?
ça m'a beaucoup touché au
Yes.
départ quand j'ai vu ça.
Select the machine.
C'est un bel.
Can you see here? This is the IP address.
Oh, the public IP. All right.
You need to
Okay.
copy the
From-
public IP and then
Salud,
paste it in the
man.
browser so that you get the page.
What off?
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Sunil. Thank you.
How do you got to know about this training and you're from which place?
Hey, ta cuisine
Ishita?
parisienne.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm from Dehradun, but because of the COVID, I came back from to my hometown. I was working in
Verification of
Bangalore.
travail in
So I got to know from one of my friends. He attended a
Ça,
DevOps
c'est la
training
cour. Il y a un
with
bac
the
là
same.
derrière nous.
I think you were
Mais il n'y a pas le
already
basement, n'est-ce pas?
conducting a session.
Okay.
I was not
Je
able
sais
to
pas quand on
attend
veut
that
voir le
though,
basement,
but I
comment
thought I
on
will
check
do
ça.
it later if
Yeah,
the session is
c'est
open again
sufficient
for
also.
DevOps.
Mais ça, on
Okay.
ne
So how
montre
many
pas
years of
toujours ça,
experience in
n'est-ce
which
pas?
technology you're having experience?
It's been 10 years now, and
Yes, sir.
basically my
Yes,
primary
sir.
skill is for mainframe.
Il
But
a dit qu'on va voir tout
later
ça.
on,
Hein?
it was less technical, more into the functional side, where I was interacting with the
Ben, il a
business
sorti tout
analysis
ce
for
qui est dans les
solutioning,
300 quoi.
and now it's more into managerial.
Wow.
Since AWS is coming as a niche
Yeah, man,
skill, and it's kind of hot skill right now, so I was interested in AWS.
Bon,
And with
on finit après. Hein.
Okay. I hope you know
On va
most
voir
of the
tout ça,
clients are
n'est-ce pas?
moving to AWS and this kind of Azure cloud
Yes,
platform.
I can see many of the projects. are
Having
On va voir
knowledge
seulement
on
celui
this, how
qui
exactly
comparer,
cloud
regardez
helps
là.
the clients to manage their infrastructure will be very much helpful for you when you're talking to your management or you're talking to your development teams or whatever.
Yes, I'm hoping.
Non,
Yeah,
non, c'est
that's
qu'il a
what
choisi là,
more
c'est bon.
interests me as
On va
well
aller voir ça.
for
Olivier.
attending the session.
Thank you, Ishita.
So,
Ça, alors.
Thank you very much.
thanks, Sunil.
Okay. Now, as I mentioned, I'll provide you a different way of creating a Linux machine. I want to just repeat it, but the approach is different. Look at this.
Parce
Il y a
qu'on va
deux, trois
tomber
là-bas
sur ça.
pour choisir.
In this, when we first in this Linux machine, what we have done first, we have created the Linux machine, and I have connected to the Linux machine using PuTTY. And in PuTTY environment, we have executed some commands to install the web package. Go back. So this is the commands which you have executed in the PuTTY environment, isn't it? So we have switched to root user, we have updated the repository, we have installed HTTPD, and we have created a file, and we have started this. And then that Linux machine is now called as web server. Now, what I'll do, I provided a different approach. Look at this. Launch instance. As usual, this time also I want to go with same operating system, Amazon Linux. T2 micro instances, obviously. In step 3, it's all about number of instances. So okay, I go ahead and create one instance, that's fine. But scroll down. Under advanced details, can you see user data here? Now here, whatever the commands I have executed on PuTTY, I'll be copy pasting the same commands, not in PuTTY, I'll be providing that in the user data. These scripts are nothing but a set of commands. These set of commands, which I have mentioned under user data, are called as bootstrap scripts.
Ça, c'est encore ça.
These are called as bootstrap scripts. The only extra line what I have included is that
Ça aussi dedans. Hein. C'est aussi inclus.
hash exclamation slash bin slash bash. That helps you to understand that this is not just normal text. It helps you to understand these are the Linux commands which should be running on the terminal. That's called as a bash terminal. So these scripts are nothing but set of commands will execute automatically. You don't need to manually execute. As you mentioned, the scripts gets executed automatically. So whenever you create an EC2 machine, automatically you want some set of commands to get executed that you can mention it in this particular location. These are called as bootstrap scripts. So when you launch an instance, you have an option of passing user data to the instance that is used for performing common automated configuration tasks. Whenever a EC2 machine gets created, you want some set of commands to be executed automatically, mention that in the bootstrap scripts. Okay, so that's it. So that's about the different approach. I just want to show you some exposure towards the bootstrap scripts. Next. Security group. What port needs to be open? Not only SSH port, you should also open HTTP port. You can mention it as anywhere in the world can connect to the HTTP, anywhere in the world can connect using PuTTY if you have a credentials. It's always provided to provide a group name. Last time I have provided a security group as SG21. This time I want to provide a security group as SG22. It's always better to have a unique name, and security group is all about dealing with ports. Now we are confident about dealing with security group. Review and launch, click on launch, create a new key pair. This time I Sunil 22 and I download the key pair. You know the key pair extension is .pem. Let's get it downloaded. Click on launch. This is one more line
Allez,
extension. So I like
laisse
it.
ça.
Second line extension for today's session. sessions. I'm writing it as Linux 2.
C'est
This
ça
machine
complètement.
gets created. This machine will be into running state, and
What time your
the
class start?
commands which we have mentioned
Okay, go
gets
over
executed
there because I
automatically.
don't
You
want to
need to
disturb
give
my
some
video.
time, okay, because it needs to update the package, install the
My
update
class
the
will finish
repository,
now, so
install
that
the
we can.
package, create that index.html file. Wantedly, I'm writing a content called my Google -2. Last time I have used my Google, just my Google. So wantedly, I'm writing a different content just to experience the difference that I am creating. We are connecting to second server, so it will be running. But you need to give some more time, couple of minutes for the commands to get executed in the background, so that this machine gets automatically converted into web server. So Bootstrap scripts are nothing but set of commands that gets executed automatically whenever a machine gets launched. That's it. So today you have experienced the concept of web server, a very beautiful concept. Next session is all about load balancer, 100% interview question. What is load balancer? How exactly the behavior of load balancer is? That's our next session. Do not miss load balancer class. It's very, very important from the interview point of view. Okay. And before ending, as you know, we will not have sessions on Saturday, Sunday. There is no session on Saturday, Sunday. Next session is on Monday. And what's Monday's agenda? Load balancer, which is very, very important in AWS. I think we have given sufficient time. Now, how can I access this particular Linux machine? Take the public IP 13.127.32.48. This is the IP address, isn't it? So this IP address, mention it in the browser. Are you getting my Google -2? Are you getting the same content? Yes, you're getting the same content. Did I manually executed these commands? No, those are Bootstrap scripts. So I hope you have understood the importance of Bootstrap scripts. Bootstrap scripts are nothing but set of commands that gets executed automatically whenever a machine is launched. Okay, clear? Yes. Updates about this particular batch, you get it in the WhatsApp group. I already have shared you the WhatsApp group link in the chat box. If you are not in the WhatsApp group, I already have seen many have joined the WhatsApp group. Okay, do not join duplicate groups. This group is batch number 70, AWS batch 73, and do not join duplicates group like 73-1, 2, 3 queues option to others, so they can also join. So we are done with our agenda. 1 minute, please. Okay. How are you, Henry?
Fine, thank you.
You are allowed to unmute yourself, Henry. I can see your hand raise.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
How are you doing, Henry? I can hear you.
Yes, I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, please. I know your question.
Yes, I'm calling from United States. I wanted to know after this course, what we can be able do as work. What can you suggest us?
This course is suitable for you to go for an AWS Certified Solutions Architect role. Okay, you'll be helping the clients to manage their infrastructure on AWS. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a course. How exactly it is designed, Henry? Am I clear?
Yes. Also, right now, I do have my AWS certificate already.
Oh wow, good.
Yes. So.
So are you associate level or professional level?
Associate.
Okay. So probably you already know all this, whatever we are learning.
Yes, I learned a little bit, but I want to go a little bit more deeper, and that's why I'm very interested in your class.
Thank you very much. How do you know about this class and batch? How do you know about these details?
Say again?
How do you got to know about our batch and my details?
Yes, how do I know it? It's from a colleague from work. Yes, he's from. Yes, he's from Bombay. He's from Bombay. Yes, and he's the one to connect me and to this course.
Are you happy with the training?
Say again.
Are you happy with this training?
Oh, this training is amazing. It's a wisdom.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a
Thank you,
wisdom.
Henry.
Thank you for
I
everything.
hope you will be happy with the rest of all the sessions also. Okay?
Yes, sir.
That's my
Yes.
promise.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice weekend. What's your weekend plan?
For my weekend plan, my weekend plan. I want to find a way, just to sit down and learn a little bit more, because I know that the course is a little bit short, and
Okay.
then we got to practice, before the end of the course, so you can get out with something. Yes.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Henry. So, are you in the WhatsApp group? Are you getting the updates?
No, I'm not there. I'm not in the WhatsApp group. I didn't know we have a WhatsApp group.
We have a WhatsApp group to this particular batch. I already sent you the WhatsApp group link in the chat box.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll
Or
check
ping
it
me
there.
on. I hope you might have my number. Ping me on WhatsApp. I'll respond to you with the group. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, friends. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you have enjoyed the experience in Web Server. Do not miss tomorrow. Do not miss Monday session, Monday evening. That will be Monday morning in US, because we are moving on to one of the most important topic, that's called load balancer. Please do not miss Monday session. Thank you very much, and then see you on Monday. Please use this weekend time to practice whatever we are learning. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.
Tu as chaud maintenant. Moi j'ai fini. Tu as chaud maintenant. Mais toi tu aimes bien parce que tu as dans ton set.
Quand il a dit ça, il a dit waouh. Il a crié.
Tu as dans ton set.
Il a dit que merde.
Tu as dans ton set.
Oui, mais quand il a dit que en fait j'ai dans mon set, le gars dit waouh. Donc ça veut dire qu'alors là tu es déjà avancé, mon frère. Il dit qu'en fait j'ai le knowledge, mais je vais seulement approfondir avec, tu vois. Oui, oui, c'est que. Il m'a dit qu'il a le WhatsApp group.
Oui, bonjour.
Bonjour, ma.
Bien
Comme-
dormi.
Bien dormi, ma, et toi?
Tu es rentré ce matin.
Non, 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 je suis rentré à la nuit.
J'ai pas compris.
J'étais là. Je suis rentré à la nuit. Tu as bien dormi?
Tu m'as dit que tu vas faire.